What's up, chat, and welcome back to Zenless Zone Zero. Today we're going to be doing a meme recap of Zenless Zone Zero's version 1.3 special episode, Virtual Revenge, starring everyone's favorite mother and ass-kicking deputy chief of Section 6, Tsukishiro Yanagi. For those who missed the story, or for those who just want to refresh their memory, because the story has progressed a lot since then. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it. The story begins with the Phaethon siblings talking about their plans to visit a supplier in Lumina Square the next day. But when they get there, Lumina Square is overflowing with people, like the line for the ZZZ booth at Hoyo Fest. Hiya. Then some random passerby shouts, "Phaethon!" like a K-pop idol stan, and the siblings get a FNAF level jump scare. Bro, look at Wise's face. This boy's fight or flight instincts are raging. I mean, I would also have a panic attack if someone shouted out my Twitter handle in real life. But anyway, thankfully they weren't recognized, and it's just two strangers talking about Nullface, an apparent new threat that a squad named HSOS-6 is going to be fighting. HSOS-6 stands for Hella Super Optimized Sugoi Squad 6. JK, it stands for Hollow Special Operations Section 6. So Section 6 pulls up to the HIA club in Lumina Square and is immediately swarmed by Sims like it's a Taylor Swift concert. This down bad Thyron girl begs for Miyabi's feet to rupture her ribs, and this grown-ass man Sims for Harumasa. Girl, how much time do these people spend on Wattpad? Someone even begs to be Sokaku's dog. Like, girl, that is a child. Somebody called PubSec so Julian can beat their ass. Meanwhile, Yanagi has 0 Twitter followers, so she doesn't get any Sims.
You how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get it.
So the Phaethon siblings try to escape the simp mess, and Yanagi has her anime foreshadowing moment as Nullface's logo flickers in a boil board above them. Insert super cool title screen here. The next day, Yanagi clocks into work, and we get a view of Section 6's swanky office before meeting up with an HIA club rep to talk about cooperation and talk him out of his social anxiety. We then meet each member of Section 6, Tsukishiro Yanagi, the deputy who holds the one brain cell out of all of them, Hoshimi Miyabi, a walking nuclear bomb who's basically Virgil's daughter and hates going to meetings, Sokaku, a child who sleeps, eats, smacks people with an ice fan, eats, and eats again, and Asaba Harumasa, a 9-to-5 office worker who loves trying to bunk off work because he's always sick. Anyway, the HIA guy needs Section 6 to enter their combat training VR system so they can help test it and provide data to refine it. So Section 6 pulls up to the HIA club, and Yanagi has to go fish everyone out of their crowds of simps again since she has 0 Twitter followers. However, a single former colleague of hers recognizes her and asks for a photo with everyone in Section 6. This probably isn't canon at all, but for some whack-ass reason, the Phaethon siblings are in this photo. Why? Who knows? They're probably magic. So after a while, the whole squad manages to get into the club where Yanagi briefs them about the mission to test the new VR update that enhances, quote, sync with sensory nerves. She spent her time reading a thick instruction manual about the VR system and mentions that the specific simulation they need to complete will end once they kill every test monster in the system. Keep this in mind, this is important. So Section 6 boots up the VR system, and the update is apparently so realistic that it's indistinguishable from reality. Dang, I wish we had this in real life so I could become my persona in VR chat. The first battle begins, and although it's not addressed directly, we do get to meet Section 6's Bang Boo, FBI Agent Gulliver. FBI, open up! The battle finishes quickly enough, but towards the end, the system glitches and spawns 3 slightly glitchy enemies. The staff member then tells everyone the job is done, but Yanagi and Sokaku get suspicious because he doesn't remember asking for a group photo with them or arranging for extra meals like the staff on the outside did. How could you forget about the food? Disgrace! The logout screen also starts glitching like my audio on Zoom calls. Outside of the club, the Section 6 simp clubs are still spawn camping them before a staff member tells them to piss off. The Phaethon siblings are finally done with their restocking trip, but surprisingly, Section 6 is taking longer than them to finish their job, which is suspicious to us, the readers, because the battle was easy and quicker than we expected. We then go back to Yanagi, who realized that the Section 6 mobile got isekai'd away, along with every other vehicle in the parking lot. So they go back to the HIA club to find the staff member, but everyone in the club also got isekai'd away like Alice in Borderland. Receptionist, isekai'd. Rich people in the lounge, isekai'd. People in the upstairs part that we never get to visit for whatever reason, isekai'd. So they go outside, and guess what they find? Everybody got isekai'd. Senpai. Bro, this looks like how Singapore did during the COVID lockdown. It was creepy. Desperate to socialize with anyone at all, Section 6 explores the square and finds even more strange occurrences. Miyabi finds that the metal art structure has been elongated to look like a certain human organ, Sokaku finds some trash cans that committed mitosis, and Harumasa finds a tactile path that looks like a toddler built it, basically confirming that the whole squad is now inside an SCP. What's more, Miyabi isn't being chased by simps, Sokaku isn't hungry, and Harumasa pulls out some film theory lecture so Yanagi give him the Will Smith slap special. But it doesn't hurt him at all apart from his dignity. So Yanagi realizes they're all still stuck in a VR chat lobby and rushes back to the HIA club to activate safe mode, but then all of Section 6 casually tries to kill her against their will like they're possessed. I had the urge to kill you about 5 minutes ago. Bro, this is just me whenever kids in my school try to bully me. Yanagi is then forced to give everyone the Asian mom slip her thwack of death so they don't kill her first, and then a hacker symbol flashes on the TV behind her, taunting that nobody in New Eridu needs their salvation. This is definitely the most anime villain entrance in the whole game, and it would be low-key badass if they weren't trapping agents in VR for no apparent reason. When everyone wakes up, Yanagi tells them that they're in a cyberspace anime now and need to clutch up since the hacker has taken control of the VR simulation and threatened to pull a DDLC Monica and delete their files. Miyabi seems unsettled because a hacker presence here would essentially have godlike power over the whole world, but Yanagi mentions that the hacker must have limitations to their abilities, otherwise they could have instantly CDRL all deleted them already without trying to possess them. Harumasa points out that the hacker might just be a pussy, but Yanagi counters by saying that their squad is powerful, literally containing a void hunter as their most lethal combatant, so if their enemy can't beat them in the real world, trapping them in the virtual world to gain an advantage must be the solution. Bro, this is why Yanagi's fourth mindscape is called Chess Master. She has crazy strategy anticipation. Sokaku seems stressed, understandably, because how the hell are you supposed to escape this? But Yanagi recalls that in the test simulation, the 3 glitchy enemies were left alive, meaning that if they can fulfill the condition of killing all the test monsters in the VR system, the simulation will automatically end itself, freeing them. So they basically have to pull a Harry Potter and hunt down the 3 Horcruxes of the system? Sounds good! They spawn in a completely different place and the battle begins. Canonically, they would have wiped the floor with these little cockroaches in 6 seconds flat, but in game, the nuclear bomb Miyabi hadn't been released yet, so we're stuck with a basically non-existent synergy between Yanagi and Sokaku. Soon enough, they spot a test target, but the hacker tries to block them off with ethereals that commit the kamikaze when they die. Bro, using long-winded approaches like this instead of insta-kills or hard locks are basically a dead giveaway that the hacker doesn't have full control over the system, so they're honestly gaining a ton of strategic leverage here. The test target runs away, but Yanagi finally manages to corner him, so he pulls the old clone array trick from iRobot. This was a fire reference, by the way. So Yanagi activates the Asian Mother Rage attack and gets him to move enough millimeters to kill him. 1 Horcrux down, 2 to go. Then she asks him how to leave and this guy starts taunting her. Bro, these are just test targets. Why does she even think that they would be any more than dumb AI-powered holograms? And why was this one actually capable of talking to her? Did the hacker just want to mess with her? Who knows? The simulation within the simulation ends, and Sokaku tells Harumasa that 9 to 5 office workers should follow orders without question before Yanagi yeets everyone into the test combat system again to destroy the second Horcrux. But she gets noped because when Harumasa tries to log in, the hacker turns him into a bang boo. We love a short king. Yanagi then gets vectored because the hacker reveals that the extra battles they did gave them just enough combat data to take over the system and finish Harumasa's combat analysis, which is why he turned into a bang boo so there are less threats to the test targets. Then he reveals that everyone else is going to suffer the same fate if he gets his way. Okay, even though Harumasa boo is funny, this is just sad. Imagine if you were playing VR with your friends and then a hacker traps you in your headset and tells you that he's closer to making you brain dead the more you move around. How do you even escape from this? Oh, that's how. By Sokaku nuking the TV with Harumasa boo. This doesn't kill the hacker though, obviously, but Yanagi does get him to confess that he still doesn't have control over the system like he claimed he did. The team then tries to decide whether to enter VR again and asks Yanagi since she has been brain carrying them, but Yanagi opens up about her insecurities, saying that she's never been confident in her judgments even though they've worked out well for everyone so far, and is afraid that all of Section 6 might fall if she ever makes a single mistake. This feeling is honestly really common even in real life where we don't have VR and Hollows, and trust me, Whether it's to hold others up, hold yourself up, or both, having to be the person who you yourself perceive as having to keep everything together and never make a single mistake in any work you do, lest everything you care about come crashing down, can crush the soul and your self-confidence. It's a huge emotional vulnerability, and I'm genuinely glad the game has managed to incorporate this theme, because this is a really common and negative psychological trend, especially in Asian cultures, one of which I grew up in. Okay, sorry for getting serious all of a sudden, that was just something I wanted to mention. This game's story writing is peak. Despite the emotional attacks from the hacker, Yanagi points out that the objective intel they have hasn't changed, and they still have vulnerabilities they can exploit, i.e. the Horcruxes, aka the test enemies. She tells Miyabi and Sokaku not to fight, since it would speed up the hacker's data analysis and render them bang booed. Yanagi is the only one who enabled safe mode using the manual instructions, meaning that the hacker is blocked from meddling with her data, so she will now have to carry everyone in deadly assault. Don't forget FBI boo though! The squad puts their trust in her and they re-enter the VR combat test again. The next test enemy happens to be near where they spawn, because of course it is, and it runs away, but Yanagi smacks some brick walls, kicks ethereal ass, and then catches up with it. Sokaku and Miyabi try to hold their own against the ethereals and are forced to fight and defend themselves, but right before they get overwhelmed, Yanagi yeets her Naginata at them before Kratos falling into the abyss with the second test target, having realized that she won't get killed if she takes the monster with her and completes the stage. 2 Horcruxes down, 1 to go. The hacker then tries to contact them again, and just look at this comic panel. Okay, sorry. Anyway, like every anime villain ever, the hacker explains to Yanagi that he realized she was the main problem, as she was the only one with safe mode on, because she was the only one who read the terms and conditions. So he ejects her from the airship to attack the other 2 remaining members of Section 6, and Yanagi wakes back up in the real world. Inspired by the COVID-esque isolated world in the VR system, she tells the staff member to put the HIA club into lockdown and calls for medical help. Outside, the spawn camping Section 6 simps start canceling the HIA staff members, just like real life Karens, as if the club's primary purpose of the day wasn't testing their own VR system and instead hosting a Section 6 Yume Shipper meetup convention. The Faith and siblings then start using their Super Saiyan ChatGPT to monitor the situation, since everyone and their mother is talking about the disappearance of Section 6, and soon enough, they learn that not only has Section 6 not come out of the club, the cybersecurity police are swarming the area. So like the law-abiding citizens that they are, they jump in their car and immediately beeline straight to the scene of the crime. Meanwhile, Yanagi fails her 2-factor authentication, and the HIA staff member starts crying because he feels guilty that they're now all in danger, and he can't satisfy the simps outside who want to personally hand over fan mail and gifts to the squad. Yanagi asks him if she can do a physical diagnostic on her teammates, plays Guess Who with the researcher to match their corrupted medical records with each agent, and then finally gets news that the cybersecurity police have fixed the login link. She pulls out a special new Erdu Guardian badge that she noticed the other 3 Section 6 members wearing, realizing that it was the missing piece of her 2-factor authentication. This will get explained more later. Upon witnessing her bravery and willingness to log back into the system that almost killed her so that she can end the last test enemy and free everyone, the HIA staff member officially becomes Yanagi's first simp, the first step on her journey to eventual Twitter virality. When she logs back into the system, Yanagi steps outside and immediately gets hit with Dark Souls lighting as she realizes that Sokaku has already been turned into a short queen, while Miyabi's combat data is at 97%. And as every Asian parent says, 97%? Why not 100%? Failure! Miyabi expresses confidence in Yanagi's plan to take down the hacker by killing the last Horcrux, as she turns into a bangbu and becomes a short queen. Then, in true anime style, Yanagi then drops the key phrase to lock into the VR system as a catchphrase and starts kicking AI ass. Upon killing the next few test enemies, Yanagi steps into the center of Luminous Square and realizes she is now in the MC Escher painting. Once again, this would have been cool if they weren't being held hostage in VR. The hacker then forces her to fight an artificial Miyabi doppelganger, and if this were an actually good copy, Yanagi would have been cooked. But fortunately, this is a knockoff Miyabi from Temu whose core skill is at level B with shitty drive disk substats and only spams basic attack, and Yanagi easily survives. In a standoff, Miyabu tips Yanagi off that her right hand was sprained trying to stop herself from killing Yanagi, which allows the latter to dodge the clone except for her glasses and kill the final test enemy, freeing her teammates from their bangbu forms and finally ending the simulation in this wholesome scene that ties the whole anime together. Dang, her smile is pretty. It was all over Twitter the day this story dropped. Oh yeah, and by the way, Section 6 doesn't know this quite yet, but the hacker's name is Nullface, the same one mentioned at the start of the story. And oh, foreshadowing. After a few medical checkups and Yanagi roasting Harumasa again, everyone is back at Swanky Hand headquarters as Yanagi explains that the hacker gained access to the VR program through a back door, opened up by identification codes within the new Erdu Guardian badges that the rest of Section 6 received from their simps before logging into the VR system. And because Yanagi had 0 simps before that HIA guy, she didn't get a badge. So basically the moral here is never get any Twitter followers and you'll be safe from hackers? Sounds good! Miyabi deduces that the prime suspect for the hack was Nullface, a cybercrime syndicate that Section 6 had been working to take down and had hacked into the HIA previously and got close. So Nullface cheated and imprisoned them within their crappy video game. So Kaku will want revenge already, and Yanagi mentions that they can take them down today because, quote, the intelligence from their partner department has just arrived. So TLDR, the power of anime plot armor saves the day once again. The Phaethon siblings received the public press release version of the story, which is that Section 6 were planning a sneak attack against Nullface while in the HIA club and managed to take them down. And Hand couldn't put out any more statements for the simps, so the surprise was kept intact. This is somehow even more anime than what actually happened. Completely oblivious as to the near-death experiences that just occurred in the club, the siblings go straight there, where Yanagi is waiting surrounded by her first simps, and recognizes Proxy from their investigation work in Hollow Zero. After getting her simps to disperse, Yanagi gives a safety demonstration for the new VR update that almost killed her, and Phaethon spends a whole day at the club. What the hell, are they playing Beat Saber in there or something? Anyway, that is it for the Zenless Zone Zero version 1.3 special episode meme recap. Okay, personally, jokes aside, I thought this was a really well done story and loved the technological elements in cyber warfare. Section 6 also has one of my favorite aesthetics in the whole game aside from Victoria housekeeping, so I really love seeing the team kick ethereal ass together. Also, as always, I really enjoyed the story writing and humorous moments the dev team drops in mixed with the serious moments, and surprisingly real themes covered in an otherwise extremely fictional premise. Also, the Bang Boo forms were really funny. The special episode format isn't being done anymore to focus more on Phaethon's interactions with the agents, but I really wish they would bring it back occasionally since it was very enjoyable to watch Yanagi be a badass with her team during this adventure. As of now, her first rerun is happening in-game, so make sure to pick up the Chessmaster while you can. Anyway, that's gonna be it from this kitty. I'm gonna go take a long nap. Stay safe, sleep well, and I'll see you all in the next. So, awkward story, but my phone's audio recorder stopped recording at that exact moment without telling me, and I do not have the audio of what I said after that. And I'm only just realizing this after working on editing this video for like 69 years. Anyway, thank you guys for watching and please subscribe.